Welcome to the Opinionated Arguments podcast. It's your boy ARSNL. Alongside me is my duo, Oryx.
What up?
This is episode 2. Thank you guys so much for the love on the first episode. This week is all about Major 4 qualifier week 1. And we had 3 days of nonstop, intense matches of the CDL. And we are here to break it down. But before we jump into the matches, how did you feel about this week?
A lot of upsets, pretty good, close game 5, meaningful matches that some led to roster changes and some led to, happy for their old change. And yeah, a lot of upsets.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a roller coaster, man. It was definitely a roller coaster. And here are our predictions, man. So me and Oris locked in. We predicted some. You see, it's a lot of red on here, but it was a crazy week. Like this first week of matches, it was honestly like you couldn't predict this, bro. If you predicted this, you're a genius at this point. We voted Boston a 3-1 Legion, bro, and Standy and Tej came out and went crazy.
Yeah, Standy, standout player. Single-handedly took over in respawns, and yeah, he showed how good he was, and maybe Ultra made the wrong mistake.
Yeah, honestly, I think that when Standy got dropped from Ultra, it was very confusing. Like it had to be nuts. Like it wasn't skill; it had to be some internal stuff, like attitude or something like that. That's the only thing that make like that would make sense. But yeah, man, they 3-1 Legion, bro. Or they 3-1 Boston, bro. I was surprised, bro. The hard point went down to 250 to 249, and Vegas won that. And when I seen that they won the hard point, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is gonna get mixy, bro. Like I thought it was gonna go to a game 5 after like that first map, but they swift bodied them.
Yeah, I know. Temp had a slow series. 62 kills. A 0.91, not bad, but not the usual temp we usually get. And yeah, I think that Standy, stepped up and he's on his demon mode. He's trying to, show off and prove that he's, a top SMG.
Yeah. The one thing that stood out to me was how he helped TJ. Like it was like basically like Standy is a player that TJ needed in his like running with him, like alongside him, duoing up. Like after they won, Placer was talking about how Tim was saying like he didn't have to do much but soak heal time. Like even though he didn't get a crazy amount of heal time, but I guess he was just saying like he didn't have to pop off and go crazy because the subs did what they needed to do. Standy rotations look really good, especially on map 4 of the embassy, bro. Like his rotations was looking nasty. Like you could just tell that he's a good player. You can see why Ultra picked him up in the beginning of the season. His smarts and stuff is still there. Like I'm just glad that he's helping Legion like really hit stride like they supposed to.
Yeah, I mean they lost the control, but yeah, it was respawns were pretty good. Both hard points they won, and the S&D. I mean, Standy and TJ. Remember they both went off, and they took over. This is their match.
Yeah, so wait, last thing about this series, man. We seen Expo Control, man. How do you feel about Expo Control? Or just Expo the map in general? Like when
I don't think it's a staple Call of Duty 3-lane map. It isn't horrible. You can't really spawn trap, but I will say in Control it might not play as well because you need the 3 lanes for respawn. But is it worse than Fortress? No, but I think I'd rather not play neither, to be honest.
Yeah, like me watching it. See, I haven't played. Well, I played it in pubs, but I haven't played it in like ranked or anything. I enjoy like the color, the vibrancy of it. I really enjoyed that about the map. It looks refreshing. It's actually nice to look at. But the layout is interesting. The way you spawn, if you don't get like a specific point, you're kind of screwed. You're literally funneled like spawning in a one area. So it's definitely gonna be interesting seeing how other like teams play it because Vegas picked this map and Glazer said on like the interview he was like he's gonna keep playing this map until like he's gonna keep playing it. Like they like this map. They just kind of didn't go. It just didn't go how they had it planned. But yeah, bro, I I don't know, man. Both like Control is an interesting game mode, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Control is such an interesting game mode in this game. It's very boring, man. I don't even if it's even if it seems entertaining, it has a lot of down moments. And I don't know, yeah. But I guess I agree with you when it comes to both maps. Like they both are stinkers in their own way. I'm just glad that there's something new, I guess. So yeah, man. Well, hopping into Series 2, man, we have London Royal Ravens versus LAT, man. And we gave them so much credit, Orgs. We gave London so much credit. And I think that was coming off their LAN matches and stuff like that. So, like, we gave them a lot of credit, bro. And they got 3-0 smoked, man.
Yeah, I mean, 250 to 101, 6-0 in the S&D, and 3-0 in the Control. That's a smoke show. And this might have been the start of the Envoy train, which we saw all weekend. But for sure, Ravens stood no chance.
Yeah, like, I couldn't even get a good grasp on Yuli. Just because, like, they got smoked. Like, I can't really judge a player based off of I can't judge one player based off of a team failing. Like, he just come into the system. He's not like he's a challenger player trying to get like just got called up. So I couldn't even get a really good gauge on him. I think that Nasty didn't play really well throughout this whole series. Nobody did, but the person that I kind of have like a gripe with is Scraps, bro. Scraps to me is a extremely slow player, and that S&D really showed like the lack of teamwork out of London, bro. The Thieves were laughing like most of the rounds. Like most of the rounds they were laughing. Like Asen was trying to make a play and Scraps would just sit in the top, on the top top hotel, just sit there and just hold it. Just sit there and just hold it. Like he never would move or rotate with his team. He would always be last alive. Yeah, man, it was a 3-0 smoke, bro. So like if anybody needs to have look at their position to get removed, I volunteer Scraps, bro, because he is not what an AR player needs to be in this game, bro. He's not a Lamar. He's not soaking up time. He's just not impactful, man. It's really interesting, bro. But yeah, 3-0 smoke. Nothing much you could say about it. Like you said, the Envoy fried this series. So yeah, we're gonna hop into the third series. Is Atlanta FaZe versus NYSL. This match was interesting. So interesting to watch, bro. Like such a match. It didn't disappoint at all.
Yeah, this was probably one of the best matches in the weekend, knowing their history, their beef. And I mean, at one point we thought, FaZe would have at least beaten subliners in S&D, and it didn't look like that. Subliners brought it and clutched up on that last map, round 11. And even though they won both respawns, both hard points, close matches, but they took care of the S&D, which is all they needed against FaZe.
Like one thing that I want to definitely point out is in the last episode we talked a lot about Priesta, we talked a lot about P-Dog.
Yes, sir.
And him and Kismet took over, bro. Like they both dropped 1.4s in the hard point. Like they did good in the S&D. P-Dog had a 1.5. Wait, no. Yeah. They both had a 1.5, I think. And they basically took the same momentum they had in the first HP to the S&D. Like obviously FaZe is a championship caliber team, so they're not gonna just get rolled over. So they come out strong in the Control. They go back to hotel, and honestly, bro, P-Dog, like I put in the notes, I put the dogs because you got P-Dog and you got the Bulldog. Them boys, yep. They really had an impressive series, bro. Like they really was going hard, man.
For me, it was that map 4. I mean, if you take a look at map 4, Priesta just went off and clearly carried the team. They needed him to go off one map in this series, and map 4 was the perfect map. Hotel, probably Cell's favorite map to play on. The snake sessions in that map is crazy. And Priesta brought it. Last episode we said Priesta had to become that Slayer that every team has, and he came up and fought against one of the best in Cellium. And he showed it off, and I'm happy. I hope they can do this more consistently. And to be honest, we didn't see the Hydra that we usually see. Yeah. So for them to beat FaZe in 2 respawns without Hydra dropping his usual 1.3, 1.2 series, that's pretty good. And I'm happy. I'm happy for this team. A gritty team, both dogs, like you said, brought it in them. And I think that this shows that you can turn it around. You don't have to get dropped after every major.
100%. And like one thing that I definitely want to like talk about is this last map of this game 5, right? Just even like just the last round where FaZe gets a clear plant at A, bro. Like they get an easy plant at A, and when you see on the minimap, basically NYSL is playing for a retake, bro. They're playing for a retake. Kismet jumps like BZ's watching the cross. He gets COD timing and Kismet jumps across, kills Simp who plants the bomb, goes around the corner and gets good timing on BZ. And basically that sealed up the series right there. Like that retake literally won them the game, bro. So like I definitely want to shout out to Kiz and Priest and the whole NYSL camp, bro. I really like enjoy that team dynamic. Like, you know, we got Troy Center Michaels over there, and we got D-Real over there too. So like I really enjoyed this camp. I'm glad that they were able to beat FaZe. Like you said, like they don't have to make changes. I said that last episode is like they have a system in place. They won a championship with the system. So it's kind of just going back to the basics or improving on the things you need to improve on. So shout out to NYSL. So
back onto that map 4. I had written down, you know, it was a 199 to 130 point comeback for on that hotel for NYSL, and Priesta went on like I think it was a 7 spree and brought them back to win 250 to 226. So you can think about like they won a lot, and that hard point pretty much changed the momentum for them. And yeah, then in that map 5, BZ and Simp just got shut down and couldn't get anything going. And I mean, New York just showed off in that map 5. They all did good. So
yeah,
I think this is a well-rounded team right now.
The teamwork definitely shined, bro. Teamwork definitely shined. Hopping into the 4th series, we have rokkr versus Florida, man. This is the first match after benching Dylan attached for fame. I was super excited to see another Challengers player being called up, and rokkr got to play their matches on LAN, man. Like that was a big discussion on Twitter and stuff like that. Clayster wasn't really happy about it because they're right there with each other, like fighting for for points and stuff. And it's interesting to see if like how a LAN league would have worked this season. Honestly, this really showed me that it might have been possible. But yeah, man, hopping into the map 1, we have Hydro HP, man, and dude, this is like super close. This is super close, bro. Like it was a super close map. I thought, well, we voted rokkr. We voted Florida to win. So what happened with Florida?
I think they just can't close out. I think in their later FaZe series, they just can't close out the series. They can't close out the maps. These were close maps. The S&D was a little 6-3, but the first map was pretty close. The slang was there. I mean, Brack and Fellow were going off, but yeah, no, Afro, you know, the whole rokkr camp went off and obviously won the game. But I still think they just need to be able to close the matches and try and get a lead. I don't think they were ever up at all, the whole hard point. So I think that's their problem, and they have to, you know, bring it back and be able to close the matches.
Yeah. One thing like I was paying attention to when I was watching the matches is Fame and Afro looked really good together. There was some points where like you know, me and you play 2 different roles. So you have a sub out sometimes, I have AR out, and like when we're both doing good, we're both causing havoc on the map. We might be in the different spots, but if we're both winning our ones or making right plays, like we're making the game very, very easy for our teammates. And I think that's what Afro and Fame really like did throughout this whole series. Like Fame took over in the S&D. He 1v2 clutch at one point. He dropped 11 and he went 11-5. Afro went 7-6, but he had some impactful kills like throughout that whole S&D. One thing I wanted to note about the searches, Fellow was going, bro. I thought that Florida was gonna win this search. The snipes that Fellow was hitting was insane. Like they had some unfortunate team kills. And honestly, man, it just like you said, they couldn't close out, bro. They just couldn't close out. rokkr, I guess, has the ability to finish matches and close them out, and yeah, that's what Florida is lacking right now.
Yeah, I think rokkr had an easier time closing out the series, being at home and playing against all their fans, and obviously LAN for Florida has taken a part against them. I don't think they've done good on LAN. And even if they had, it wasn't like top 8, top 6 material. So I think that, Florida has a hard time on LAN, and then behind like a whole, city, for rokkr, that's probably even harder. So I think that, I don't know, maybe LAN buff. So might have been the series.
It's interesting because I was watching Big Cap in the control, and he just couldn't buy a kill, bro. And it's crazy because Florida still won the map, or Florida could have won the map if Cap just didn't, like, they brought, bro, the fact that it went 2-2 is crazy. Like, Cap had a 0.5, bro. Like, overall, like, he was not, he started started the last round of the control 10-30, bro. Like, he was going through it. But
yeah, now that you're pointing it out, and thinking about even last year in Vanguard with Boston, I think Cap has a LAN issue. Because if you think about back when he was on Boston, online, Boston played amazing. And then Florida plays amazing online as well. But when it comes to LAN, I don't think Cap has done, as much as he does online. And I think that's why we predicted the 3-1. Because we were like, this qualifier matches, they do pretty good in qualifier matches. But I think, Cap might have a LAN problem. And this obviously showed it because you look at the numbers. I mean, this is crazy. 12 kills in the control. Yeah, 19 and 26. I don't. Maybe it is a LAN problem.
Yeah, he probably gets punished more at LAN for the things that he does, and that he probably can get away with online. It's definitely like a big factor. It definitely could be a big possibility because the stats don't lie when it comes to a lot of stuff, man. So if it's a constant like getting shut down in like on LAN and stuff like that, hey man. Like, it may be just some nerves issues or something, man. But hopping into the 5th series, we have Boston Breach versus Ultra, man. And we had Breach beating Ultra. We had a lot of faith in Breach throughout our pick'em process. I think
we had Ultra. They Breach won.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we had Ultra. I'm sorry. I was about to say. Yeah, we had Ultra 3-0ing Breach.
This was an upset.
Yeah, we had Ultra 3-0ing Breach, and they took it to last map and won, bro. Breach took it to last map and won.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to, start it off, but Vivid went off. Vivid did his thing. Vivid shut down all of Ultra. Kleenex, nowhere to be found. Scrappy, obviously he's going to go neutral just because he has the AR role, but he didn't go off this series, and Vivid showed why he's a good player. And many questions on why he got dropped eventually, but yeah, he did his thing. He did his thing, went off. I think every map he had impact. So win or lose, I think Vivid was in this match and played with heart. Yeah,
I think this showed Vivid's. This is why they picked up Vivid when people play with Vivid, or like he has his moments where he pops off. Like the hard point, him and Beans fried. They both had 1.3s. The S&D Vivid fries again. He was 12-7. Ultra, obviously they win the control because they just have better teamwork and stuff like that. Now the map 4 Hydro, Scrappy and Kleenex, they hold it down for the win. And the map 5, Boston, they win 6-4. Beans dropped a 2.0, but overall, like you said, Vivid played really, really good. Like, did Boston drop the right player? They lost to Vegas, but they beat Ultra, which is the best team in the game right now. So, like, it poses a question for real. Like, did Boston drop the right player? And, like, now we're on the topic of Vivid. What do you think the best, like, fit for him as a player is? Like, what do you think the best team that he'll go on? Like,
yeah, I think there's a couple teams that he'd fit really well. I think Ravens would boost how good they are, and I think they need him the most. I think Thieves would be a really good fit. He's a true submachine gun, and Envoy recently has become a slayer, so he's filling up that role. And then I think the other one could probably be rokkr. I think he could join rokkr and take Bant out of the situation, and you have a pretty solid team. And yeah, those 3 teams for sure, I think, could use a second sub.
Yeah, he's a super valuable player. I think that he goes through this blender a lot, like throughout the like ever since he became pro, he's definitely beginning to switch to team like different teams, team after team. And I hope he finds like a home. I know there's a lot. It's a stacked like free agency lineup right now, man. There's a lot of people who might like that might not see them like in this season playing just because of how stacked these rosters are, how tight the matches are. People aren't trying to really make changes like that. But if those teams really do decide to make a change, then he's definitely the best fit. So wish Vivid luck, man. Yeah, let's hop into the sixth series. We got rokkr versus LAG, bro. And let me just say this, and then you could take the floor, bro. Joe the Thieves went stupid in this hard point, bro. Like 38 and 15, bro. I was actually confused. I was very confused. Like I was like, dang, like he's like that. But yeah, man. Like,
yeah. Joe Deceives had a really good series. Surprisingly, they lost. But I think that Joe Deceives deserves a better team, or at least better teammates, because he did his thing. And I mean, rokkr is still able to win it. And I don't know who to blame on LEG, but for sure, Joe Deceives showed off, went off in the hard point. Even map 4, he went off, even though they lost. He still, he did good in every map. I'm in control, but he did good in every map. Every map he had an impact, and I think he needed more out of his teammates. And I think I don't know who would you change on LAG, but for sure he got outmatched. Maybe the land buff for rokkr played a part, but yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because we spoke about LAG in the last episode, and then we spoke about them also in the pick'em situation. I think like it's this team is it's so weird. It's such an interesting dynamic of this team. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think ARSNL's had a pretty solid. He was just neutral. I think he didn't play like super good or super bad. I think they just got overall like when it came down to like clutching up, rokkr clutched up. Honestly, I think that's what it was. Because the control, they got outslayed. Like the LAG outslayed them by a lot. But the teamwork of rokkr like helped them win the map. So when it comes to the kills and stuff, they can get it. It's just about getting them wins, bro. Like literally getting them wins, man. Afro went off on the last, like on the third map, 23 and 10 for the 3-1 over LAG, bro. So they're definitely looking solid. And yeah, man, it's interesting, dude. Do you think attach was the problem?
Yeah, I think I don't think he was a problem to the team in general, but I think a lot of these players played differently with attach. And I mean, you could say this about last year's roster with Standy, and you could say it now with like Afro. I think that he had a pretty good team with Afro, Cammy, and even Bance, to round up the team. But I think that his play style doesn't fit with older players and like certain play styles. So he has to find a team that fits him more like a Zuma role, back when he played with Zuma and Clay. But I think he was the problem. I think for sure he had an impact on every team, like last year's team and this year's team. And maybe Fame, it could have been anybody, but I guess Fame was the lucky one to get in this team. But I think anybody could have joined this team and made them better. And more of like a release them and let them play how they want to play.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot when they were talking about when Attach came out and said that the coaching staff had a lot of input about his play style. I honestly think that Brian Saint and Looney have an opinion on Attach, and they think that he should play COD a specific way. And Attach wouldn't be pro if he didn't do what he does best. Like there's some games where he has to play slow, and there's some games where he has to play fast. And I truly think that like this game, he wanted to play fast. He wanted to play free. And like judging by the decision, they went for a slower, like a AR player that's slow, but an AR player that can do do a lot. I've seen a lot of times Fame had a sub out in specific moments too. So like it's kind of crazy. Like the role that Attach wanted, he didn't get it, but Fame got the role. Like it was interesting. It's such an interesting thing. But But yeah, hopping to the 7th series, man, we have Surge versus LAT, bro. And honestly, this series is. I thought the series was gonna go last map. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the series was gonna go last map, but Surge 3-1s him, bro.
Yeah, I think Envoy really showed out. I think he showed why they call him the Prince. I think Nate Shot picked the right player, and he trusted an Envoy to be their sub player. And yeah, I think this is the LA Thieves that we've all been waiting for since Vanguard, and they beat a pretty good Surge team. And I mean, looking at these overall KDs, yeah, no, Envoy carried and for sure shut down Pred, and it showed. Even Mac had a bad series. So yeah, I think Envoy just showed off in every map.
Yeah,
and yeah, carried them.
And we had Surge 3-1ing Thieves. I misspoke in the beginning. We had Surge 3-1ing Thieves, but Thieves ended up 3-1ing Surge. I wonder why. Like, did we have Thieves kind of low because of the land matches? Do you think that because we had them like kind of on like a, we just didn't really see like what we needed to see out of them from the like in the previous match or previous like tournament, so we had them kind of low.
Yeah, I think it was more of we didn't know what Draza and Envoy had cooking up. We thought they weren't going to bring it what it takes to take down Pred. And I think that they showed that they can shut him down, and he's not God. Like he can come down and he can lose a match. And I think that's what we didn't expect. We didn't expect Envoy to drop 2.27s in hard points. We didn't think that. So I think that he showed why he's staple in the LA Thieves team, and yeah, maybe deserves a better sub duo, but for sure went off.
Yeah, and I want to definitely highlight Pred 15-6 in the S&D, man. For the L, somebody definitely needs to. I put this on Mac, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's either Mac or Sib. Like their S&Ds, bro. When one of them are playing good in S&D, they do good, even if like Lamar isn't like doing the best. 15-6 for the L, going to the last round, bro. They go last round on Embassy a lot. They definitely have to learn how to close that map out. Yeah, dude, it's interesting. That was an interesting map. Surge looked good round 1 and round 2 going into the control. LA Thieves take 3 and 4, and it goes to a last round where Surge takes a super intense like 3-2 map like win. So accuracy went big, right? Like he's fasting, bro. He's Ramadan, and him and Pred are fasting, and he's still dropping. They're both dropping numbers. And yeah, like LAT was just a better respawn team than them. They clutched up. They got that S&D win too, so it allowed like that confidence level. Envoy just went stupid, dropped 36 and 27 for the last map win. So yeah, man, shout out to the Thieves, bro. I liking what I'm seeing. But we got to note this: LAT went 2-0 online.
Yeah, like, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they needed this 2-0. I think they were on a slump, and beating Surge was a pretty good win. I do have a couple notes. Map 2, LAT made a 4-2 comeback to win 6-5, and Envoy just smoked the whole Surge team in that map 4. So
yeah,
couple maps that stood out, and yeah, accuracy, like you said, went off on that third map. Maybe if he'd done that in the hard points, they would have played a little better. But hey, man.
Yeah, you can't win them all, bro. You can't win them all. Yeah, shout out to LAT, man. Y'all looking good, man. I hope that y'all do the same thing that y'all did last year and just hit form, because it makes like COD very entertaining to watch. You guys have like some talented players on the team, bro. I don't like we still kind of iffy about the sub situation, but hopefully y'all figure it out, continue to figure it out. And we hopping into the 8th series where we have Ultra versus Surge. And this, we predicted right, bro. We said that Surge was going to win 3-2. They ended up winning 3-1. Yeah, bro. Like, how do you feel about Surge after seeing them beat Ultra?
I think that Surge matches up against Ultra pretty well. And I think Pred specifically loves playing this team, matches up pretty well. And I think that him and Kleenex go back and forth. But I think Pred always shows out and, carries the team, even though we had a slow match against, Mac had a slow match against these guys again.
Yeah.
And Pred just took over. He just took over the series.
The hard point was insane. They were at like the final of P2, and Surge was up like 233 to 202. And Surge is set up for the win. Ultra break it, and they make it like 239 to 240 going into the P3 hill. And Ultra had rotations, bro. They had rotations at the start of P3, and Civ wins a 1v1 against Scrappy to break the spawns and allowing like the Civ and Mac to soak up the time and win the map like 250 to 239. So Civ and Pred definitely did their thing for their map win. These S&Ds have been insane. Like I guess when teams play a CeeLo, it's so mixy, bro. Like you can have a good momentum swing. Like you can win like for the first 5 rounds or something like that. And people could just come back. Like that's how Surge was. Like Surge had crazy teamwork through the first 5 rounds, and Hixie gets a 2-piece in 1 round, and like he just starts making the comeback. It 3-5 makes it 3-5, and just ultimately Surge ended up like winning the map. But it definitely got close, bro. I definitely was like, yo, they might choke this. So yeah, bro. Surge looks really well. I enjoy watching this whole series, honestly, man. I'm happy that they're winning these respawns, bro. They're winning these respawns convincingly at some points. Like they're team hitting specific things they need to team hit. Like at moments, Surge really looked like a solid freaking team. I just wish they could stay consistent. I wish that like Mac could like be an X factor and like really help the Pred, bro, because like he like in reality he does need help, man. So yeah, dude, this was a good series to watch overall, bro.
Yeah, looking back at my notes, I had map 1. I think Scrappy pretty much had a bad game. Probably costed the Ultra win. Close match, but yeah, Scrappy didn't do as good as he usually does. Map 2, Sib went off, carried a team, went 10-4 to win the series or win that map. And then in Control, yeah, Scrappy did his thing. I think Control is their best game mode, and I think Ultra had to win this to stay in the series. And then in Hardpoint, yeah, this was a good match. Sib didn't do his thing, and I think that comes down to the Slayer role, like we said in Hardpoint. You need that Slayer, and Sib had a bad map, which takes it down to map 5. And yeah, that's LePred, bro. That's his domain. He's a really good S&D player.
He is, bro. And it's crazy because so I have them sequenced. Like I have like round 1. So like round 1, Scrappy wins a 1v1 for against Pred, and like for the W. Surge 4 hits and retakes A for round 2 win. Surge wins round 3. They up 2-1 now. Civ wins a 1v1, an insane 1v1 against Insight, bro. Insight is on a bomb heady, and Civ comes out like he's open. He jumps up on this little pillar and guns him, headshots him for them to be 3-1. Prej wins a 1v1 against Hixie. They're a 4-1. They like it literally came down to like just Surge winning consecutive rounds. Like Ultra definitely came back and had their moments. They brought it back to 5-3, and then Surge hit him with a dagger, man. Like they hit him with a dagger that last round and just out teamworked them, bro, for a huge 3-1 victory, bro. They definitely needed this. I'm super happy for them, man. Because they've been getting a lot of hate, bro. They've been getting a lot of hate, bro. Like, and it's like it makes sense why they get a lot of hate, but I'm just happy they're able to pull out these close wins against these good teams, bro. Ultra really had a interesting like first weekend, bro. So the fact that they were able to take advantage of that and get their W's and get their points and stuff like that, bro. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, 0-2 in the weekend for Ultra, and maybe past their honeymoon stage, Ultra has touchdown, and now they're playing rokkr.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they got to start beating these good matches, these good teams. And I don't know, I think they're on a decline. This might be their start of their decline.
Yeah,
for this season.
Yeah, and then hopping into the 9th series, we have London versus Optic. I'm not gonna lie, you take it, bro. You take it.
Yeah, so Optic, as an Optic fan I am, there was a smoke show, and Ravens couldn't go up against, Hook and Shotzzy, and even Dashy had a really good series, a quick series, but went off 56 kills in the series, and maybe Scraps might get dropped after the series. He didn't have a good series at all. Showed why, ASIM needs a little help for that first map. Scraps had 11 kills. I mean, everybody did bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that hard point was 250 to 68. Texas are looking really good on Fortress. I think this will be everybody's auto veto against them going forward. And yeah, and I mean, moving on to the hotel, also a blowout. But I think Hook has shown to perform really well in S&D. Might be their best S&D player they got.
Yeah.
And really took over, and yeah, dropped 12-3. I mean, Dashy went 9-3, but that's the usual Bruce. And went to win the hotel 6-2. And then Control, the new map Expo. Kind of a good map for Optic.
Yeah.
Probably suits Dashy really well. Dashy had a really good map. And yeah, the ARs, I mean, Yuli, Nasty really didn't do much. Scraps once again, 13-27, didn't have a good map or a good series.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that I think Texas are a really good team, but this might lead for Ravens roster change.
Yeah,
I think
it's blow it up season for them boys, man. I the reason why I let you I wanted you to go over it because as you are listen, man, I've known you since we were children. Like at this point, you are a diehard Optic fan, and like you ride for them. So I was just like, hey, bro, take the floor because they literally destroyed them boys, bro. London Scraps, bro. Listen, I said it when I was going over the Thieves match. Scraps, bro, you gotta go. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's a friendship league with the London crew, bro. I don't know how Scraps got picked up over specific players. I truly don't know, and I don't want to bash nobody, bro. I don't want to go super hard, but it's just the truth, bro. Like, you guys are dead last, and I know you guys know that. You guys are your worst critics, so I know I see ASIM every time they lose, he takes it very hard because he wants to win. But I don't know, man. It's interesting, bro. Every time they play, bro, it's such a disappointing. Like, it's so disappointing to see, man. Like, we gave them some credit in the predictions. We gave them at least two matches, and they didn't win none. Like, they just got steamrolled, bro. So, but shout out to the Optic boys, man. Watching the Ghosty podcast with Hex really like made me like love and respect Ghosty a lot. The stuff that he's overcame and stuff, and the fact that he's on a staple team like Optic and his composure levels, and he's keeping it solid, bro. He said he had some worries about getting dropped and stuff, but he's still playing his best. That's one thing. Like, yeah, he could be worried about it a little bit, but he's still putting up numbers. He's still doing what he needs to do because he wants to win. Like he said in the podcast, he's trying to get a chip. But we hopping to the 10th match, man, and that is FaZe versus Florida Mutineers, bro. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. FaZe outclassed them. They outclassed Florida in the hard point, 250 to 160, or 250 to 163. The map 2 S&D. It goes round 11, and Florida wins it. Bragg drops a 2.0, bro. Shout out to Bragg, bro. He's really putting on. In map 3, it goes FaZe looking dominant as they 3-0 sweep them in the control. Cellium with a 2.0. Bro, like Cellium like loves control for some reason, bro. Like them snakes really come out in control. Like he could really snake a point and really do what he needs to do in these control maps. And then we hop into map number 4, and Florida looks dominant as they take the win. They literally, it's crazy because like they really push FaZe. I didn't think that they were gonna be able to push them, but they really pushed them, bro. They took the win over FaZe. They beat them 250 to 183. The teamwork stood out a lot on that map. Specifically, we go to map 5, and FaZe is just a better S&D team, bro. FaZe is just a better S&D team. They win 6-4. Abizi drops 14 for the last map win. And yeah, man, that concludes the weekend, bro. FaZe goes 1-1. LAT go 2-0. Who else? Vegas wins their match that they played. Florida goes 0-2. And yeah, man, honestly, dude, overall, this week was insane. Like, this is the champs race. These guys are playing, listen, these guys are playing their freaking heart outs right now, bro. Like, we not that far away from champs, bro. Like, we have 2 more events. We have 2 more events, and then champs is after that. So these dudes know, they know that it's about that time of the year where if you gonna make it, you gonna make it, bro. Either you got it or you don't. So yeah, man, that concludes the first week of week 3 qualifier or week 4 qualifiers. And yeah, man, we hopping into some more, like, the more topics. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. So I can, when I edit it, I can just edit it clean. All right, so we conclude the first week of qualifier 4 or major 4 qualifier, week 1. Super intense matches. I'm excited for week 2. Here are the standings of the CDL right now, man. We have FaZe at number 1 with 225 points, man. Looking solid. We have London with 50 points. We just spoke about them. They definitely need to get it together and figure out what they need to do and see if they can. And they're literally right behind LAG and Florida. They just need to clutch up, bro. But the matches that I wanted to look at, or like the placings and standings that I wanted to look at, is these 2, Legion and rokkr, bro. Clayster spoke out about rokkr playing the LAN at the LAN and winning these 2 matches. And basically just saying how it was unfair, but bro, they're neck and neck, bro. They're 20 points behind rokkr, and then another, like, 2 teams I wanted to look at is NYSL and 100 or LA Thieves. Like, they are 5. Like, LA Thieves is 5 points behind the subliners to take that 4th spot, and Optic is sitting pretty comfortable. And these top 3 teams are sitting pretty comfortable, man. But a lot can change for this race to top 8, bro. This race to champs is gonna be interesting. So yeah, man, here's the standing.
Yeah, so looking at the standings here, and the performance for this last weekend, I think that a major team that we should point out, looking into the standing, is Surge. I think that Surge is on the risk of falling behind, and with Vegas looking really good, maybe a top 6 team currently. I think that Boston and Surge could be falling back, but I think Surge really needs to keep up in their matches. And with the Boston roster change, I think they might be okay, and they might be able to win a couple series from here on out. But I think Surge aren't doing a roster change this season.
Yeah.
And I think that if they lose a couple matches, important matches, that they could fall back, because I think Legion will go on a run, and I think Legion will catch up to rokkr. And I think at some point, maybe they both pass Surge, and Surge will be the one man out. And I think that it'll come down to these 3 teams, Surge, rokkr, and Legion, to see who really is going to take over the 7th and 8th spot.
Yeah. And then happen, like, as we're on the standings, do you think, like, Vegas is a top 6 team? Like, do we think that Vegas has the potential to be a top 6 team?
I think currently Vegas is obviously better than rokkr. I think they play a good match against Surge, and I think they can easily beat Breach. I think their matchup really is against Surge for that 6th spot. And currently, obviously, their points don't match. Yeah. But I think that later on in this season, this major 4, I think that they'll catch up and at least play for that top 7, top 6 placing on the standings.
For the first time we're going to be talking about Challenger. So we're just going to go over who won the elites for the Challenger series. All right, so we're shouting out to the guys at the in the Challengers playing, trying to get that call, man, trying to get that freaking call. I heard a lot about Gunzy yesterday, where Parasite was talking about he goes to school, he's in the CCL, he has a job, and he still plays. He still scrims on the scrim schedule. So yeah, man, shout out to the Challenger Cup champions, Cruzy, Dak, Gunzy, and Lunars. That's the NA champions. And then we got the EU boys. Shout out to Liam, Disarray, Keza, and Joka. I'm gonna call him Mike. Shout out to my boy Mike. I do not know how to pronounce your name, bro, but shout out to you, bro. Y'all holding it down in the EU. And then we got the Latin America team that won we have OG DJ, we have Savage, we have Evade, and we have Rafa. And honestly, dude, it's super hard to get a lot of information on the challengers, people. I've definitely been working hard. Like last night, I definitely like looked and tried to find as much information. But when we do find like stats for everything and we can be able to go over that, we'll definitely start implementing that into the pod. But yeah, man, shout out to the challengers boys holding it down. And speaking of challengers, let's talk about how many like rookies have been getting called up, or how many challengers players have been getting called up. Like the CDL rookie class right now is Scrappy, Hixie, Ghosty, Beans, Jodeci's, Vickle, Fame, Yuli, and Crimp, man. Like this is a lot of people, bro. Like this is a lot of people. So shout out to the challenger series, challenger scenes, man. I want you guys to get more eyes, dude. Like I really want the challenger scene to get way more eyes than it's getting. Shout out to Doug for freaking finding God-like teammates, bro. Oh, like Doug has a knack for just picking up gods, bro. I guess they like people were making tweets like, yo, every time Doug picks up a hard carry, he gets picked up in the league. Like so yeah, man. Shout out to the rookie class, the 2023 rookie class, man. And it's slowly growing, man. And we might see some more people before the season is over. So yeah. Staying on the challenger side, we're gonna be jumping into the elite, man. And as you can see, bro, these are stacked teams right here, bro. Like these are all stacked teams. Like look at like you have Convoy, you have Classic, Gunless, Pristini, Rex, you have Boys a Liar, you have Binks, you have Noisy, you have Zero. This dude, this Dark Sieved or whatever, I've seen a lot of him. I remember when we were playing, I was seeing a lot of like his name roaming around and stuff like that. A lot of these teams, bro. But we wanted to shine light on this team. We wanted to shine light on Millennium, man. We have Proloot, Mohawk, Neptune, and Spark, bro. And honestly, listen, Mohawk should get a chance in the league. Everybody else on this team has gotten a chance to be in the league except for Mohawk, bro. He needs to get called up, and the fact that he made it, like they were able to qualify for the elite says a lot. I know he took a break from like his mental health. He took a break for his mental health, and he came back and he qualified for the league, man. Yeah, dude. It's interesting, man. Let's drop down to the matches. So right now, Convoy is 3-1. Houses of Aces 3-1. rokkr Academy 2-2. Omit 2-2. Boys a Liar 2-2. And Team Strays, I think they got eliminated. But they're 0-4 right now. Then Group B, Millennium 3-1. Look at those boys, bro. They're 3-1, last seeded, or like the last seed going crazy. Boston Academy 3-1. Decimate Gaming 2-2. Orbit 2-2. I'm so glad to see that Orbit is back into the COD scene, bro. I remember dude. Oh my God, there was like a dream org I wanted to join as a kid, bro. Like when I was competing, definitely wanted to join Orbit. Happy that they're back in the challenge, or back in like the challenger scene. The Hive is 1-3, and Weewoo is 1-3 as well. So yeah, man. The elite ends tomorrow. Actually, so we'll have the updates or whatever. We'll give you guys the updates, or if you like follow the Twitters and stuff.
Yeah, looking more into these rosters, I think every roster has at least one player that has played in the league or been a substitute of a team in the league. And I think that, nowadays, the elite is pretty good. Maybe like the G League. I don't think it's a college type thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of like players that have been at least in the league or seen around the league.
Yeah.
And that, just there isn't that many spaces to play on a roster. So they go down and they play these things. And I mean, look at Paul X as a team. I mean, Pander, GodRX, Too Real, that's a team. I mean, Prolude, Neptune, Spark. There's no LAG anymore, but that's basically LAG Academy.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Censor's team, obviously. And to look that they've replaced Kremp with Ojani, that's it's kind of surprising. Vickle's team isn't bad neither to, the old NYSL Academy team. I think that, there's a lot of these teams, Gravity with Orbit. And then, I mean, Weewoo probably isn't, haven't had a chance, but I think Hamza had a chance or was looked for.
Yeah, he was looked at a lot in the beginning.
And then to even think like Zero, a player that was just recently last weekend playing on a team, and for him to be 5th place in Group A, just to think that there's that much talent and he's barely, might not even qualify for playoffs. It kind of shows that there's real talent in the elite, and that this should be looked at as more as like a G League and coming up and waiting for that spot. And yeah, and maybe some teams should sign. I mean, in football, there's a thing like practice squads, and I think that the pro league should definitely look into this and maybe give some of these teams a chance, because there's definitely talent down here for sure.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to Hive, man. That's one of the team I was looking at, bro. You have Thresh, Rupert, Snoopy, and Infinite. I've definitely seen those names a lot around the scene and on Twitter and stuff like that. So the fact that they're still being able to stay in the elite and stuff like that. You got Diamond Con and Flames and like with Vickle's team and stuff. So yeah, man, this is the elite is stacked, bro. When you look at this competition, you got Gwen. Isn't Gwen who didn't Gwen get picked up by a pro team?
He is on a sub bench. Yes.
Yeah. So he's getting a sub spot.
He's on Surge. He's on Surge.
Okay. He's on Surge. So like, bro, there's so many players. Like, I'm so happy that a lot of these challengers or a lot of these like the CDL teams are looking to challengers to pick up. And I seen something on Twitter with Haggy and Aches, and they were talking about the scrim schedule. They were talking about challenger players should not be playing on professional players' schedules. Like, they should start at maybe scrimming at like 6 or something like that, so it gives them an opportunity to have a job and like be able to maintain this. Because yeah, you could be a top player, but you still have to maintain like an income. Like if you don't win the challenge, if you don't win and place good, you're not making any money. So like a lot of these teams have like orgs and stuff that'll help, but at the end of the day, man, like stability is the most important thing. And when you're chasing a dream, stability is definitely probably the most important factor if you're gonna be able to make it or not. So I definitely think that they should think about that going into the next.
I do agree with that Aches point.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you really think about it and you put yourself in the shoes of a challengers player, and let's just say you do practice at a later time than the pros do. If you do get picked up, like let's just say tomorrow one of them gets picked up, Mohawk gets put on a team, it would just throw them off. Yeah. And I think that they're doing the right thing, but the system that they are in isn't supporting them. So for them, yeah, it's falling back on them. But I think they're doing the right thing and, sacrificing their time and their money to at least keep a schedule. And with the elite, have scheduled matches and trying to emulate, what the pros do. And yeah, I think it's more of a transition thing that they do it for. Yeah. And I mean, it goes to show Fame got picked up right the next day. Yeah. And he played on the Friday and went and did his thing, So I think that, like they said, he was in his college dorm room, and then the next day he got called up and flew to Minnesota to play a match on the main stage. It was so I think it goes around, and yeah, maybe they take it a little, too much to copy them, but I think that it's just more a transition base for them to be able to get on a team and perform as they do on challengers. No,
100%. I think that's a very that's an amazing point, to be honest. I think one thing that could solidify that is for something they had like more prize pool, or they put money into challengers a bit more. So if you did get in the top 8 or if you did get on a team, you could have financial backing for just a little bit, just so you could take the ease off. But yeah, like you said, they took the sacrifice. Fame took the sacrifice off, and it paid off. So yeah, I definitely think a lot of times like what X be saying, it makes sense, but it lacks context. So I appreciate you for giving context, because a lot of times it definitely is probably a transitional period where if I'm waiting to scrim till 6 and I get on a pro team and they're scrimming at like 2:00, my adjustment period, I might be doing something else throughout that whole time. Like, so it definitely might shake me up a little bit. So yeah, man, I think that like what Ori said, they're copying it so they can be ready whenever they get the call. Like, they could be ready. They could be
and go crazy. And it more goes to show that Aches, a really good, talented player from the old age, really good in Ghost and all these games. He never really had to do a Challengers schedule.
Yeah.
He didn't play in Challengers, and he obviously got right into a spot, but like putting in that time and that work and what all these players have to go through. And like he said in his, in the podcast that he did, these players are constantly, Parasite said it, these players are constantly fighting for a spot. So basically it's a job. They never get to, breathe and be like, oh, I'm on a steady position in this team. No, They always have to grind and play, and every day they can't let go of the game. And I think that Aches is, he was fortunate not to have to do this.
Yeah, kind of out of touch with it.
And yeah, he just, he might have said it thinking more of like if you're a top 3 challengers, you can lay off the pedal. But I still think that he doesn't understand that, the struggle and the work that they put into these challengers elites and cups and how much all this matters. Mm-hmm. And this is what they play for. This is their peak of their careers for them, for some.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And to go, like, to say that Ghosty said something to Hex, he was talking about like the pro schedule is so much easier than the challenger schedule because the challenger schedule is so rigorous. Like people were so surprised that Ghosty was still in school and still like winning challengers. And it's like, bro, you do what you have to do. Like you do what you have to do. You're grind. Like these dudes have hard, like a crazy work ethic. And a lot of them are putting everything on the line to go pro. And I wish that a lot of like the pro scene, even the pro spectators understood that so they could put more respect on them. Like I seen Tactical Rab compare like the challengers to pubs or something like that. I was like, yo, like that's so disrespectful. Like, bro, these players are nice. Like these players are good players, bro. If there was more spots in the league, you wouldn't be saying that about a lot of these players. These players would get called up and be on a lot of on some like good teams. So I feel like from a casual perspective, it's so easy to discredit or like look or overlook the challengers experience. But me and you, we played in the challenge experience, man. We had a little bit of it, and we know how grind, like how gritty it is, bro. It's a grind, dude. Like it's a serious grind, man. And a lot of times there's a lot of people who push themselves to like brinks, like mental health issues, and they really try to grind, like do their best to win, man. So shout out to the challengers players, bro. I hope that in the near future you get the support that you need so you can make your dreams a reality. And yeah, man. And that concludes the second episode of the Opinionated Arguments podcast. We'll see you guys for the next set of the CDL Pick'ems, man. If you watching this video and you want to check out the first episode, man, it'll be in the link in the description below. It'll be at the end with the end screen. So thank you guys so much for the support, man. And you have any words, Oryx?
Nah, man. Pretty insane week. A lot of upsets, and yeah, looking forward to next week and the prize picks coming later on this week.
Hey, man. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Goodbye.